We're recording. Chili said you look fine. I mean, look, with me next to you, you look fine. Look how much I'm like twice your size in this in this how is that? Am I that big? God damn.
You're not big at all.
You're crazy. I'm humongous.
No, you know you got weight on you for sure. I mean, we all know that. But no, you're not. You're not. You're not big. I've seen some big people. You ain't that.
Well, I'll say I'm big for me.
And that's I same thing because I say I'm
right, and
I'm massive for my size.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
What is happening? BICCH. Okay. Okay, what are we discussing today? You have anything, or we just kind of want to hit some points? Oh, right. You said don't go past this. Right. Okay, so this should be fine. Do I feel comfortable here? Can I stay here? I think it's good.
I mean, you could come this way, just not that way.
Right.
When you're shifting around.
Okay.
Maybe I should make it so you can see it too.
No, it's okay. Don't I can see it.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So, here we are.
We're back.
We are back. Welcome to another episode of the TNT Podcast.
I'm TC.
I'm T. TEA. Like tea that you spill, piping hot, or it could be cold. Many things.
Yeah, for sure. It could be sober or inebriated.
Whichever you prefer. Okay,
Shit,
so
why I do that?
I don't know, but I kind of figured that. So look, let's do this here.
Because if you're gonna look at this, it's got to be over here.
Yeah, because I am looking at it, and I can't help but to look at it.
Well, that's gonna be in the shot. That's too tall.
Is it gonna be in the shot?
Yeah, too tall.
It's too tall. Okay, so let's bring out pops.
The candle, or that.
Come on.
Come through, Jackie.
Come on, daddy-o.
Where the? Oh, here we go. Okay. Yep.
And then
that's right. Too, that's right. A little snug hug.
A little snug hug in a bug.
All right. Oh, that's what everything is for.
Snug bug in a rug. Okay.
Cool.
This feels good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're here. We're back.
Welcome. Took a little break. Had to align things.
Yeah.
Alignment is so important.
Yep. Gain a little weight. You know, that's because that's what you got to do sometimes.
Lose a little weight. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, yeah, but you know, life.
Oh, life has happened.
Because I did.
Right.
Lose
that's
weight.
What you're saying. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I lost weight. I think I lost like 12. No, you lost 13 pounds. I lost something around that. I don't remember. But I wasn't, when I started in October being intentional, I wasn't 302 pounds.
Okay.
I was probably like 296. And I was like, oh, I can't go to 300. But then, so I got the lumen and I started eating, counting carbs, limiting carbs really, adding more protein, more vegetables, more fruit, and being, you know, time blocking, not time blocking, but time, what do you call that? Intermittent fasting.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm like this, because it was like this.
Yeah, intermittent fasting. And
right over my little head.
I was doing well. I was feeling better. For a little bit, I stopped drinking alcohol. And then here we are now at 302. Because I got to like 280 something.
Okay.
So now I'm 302.
What has changed from when you were 280 something to you said you were at 302?
Yeah.
So what have you stopped doing that you were doing?
Right. I stopped using the Lumen, and that was gradual. So the Lumen is the metabolism tracker.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, what is that? Are you saying Lumen?
Yeah, Lumen.
Okay.
Send me my money. It's a little device. You breathe into it. Let me see. Yeah, you breathe into it, and from your breath, it supposedly measures the carbohydrates.
Oh.
The amount of carbohydrates that you're burning at the time.
Oh, okay.
And then tells you whether you're in fat burn mode or carb burn. When you're in fat burn is optimal when you're resting.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to burn carbs when you're active.
Gotcha.
So there's a lot of education in there, and I was doing pretty good. I was feeling good, and I get off track all the time. So what it is it's just time for me to begin again.
Yeah, there you go. Because I mean, as we know, everything is discipline and consistency. Mm-hmm. So as much as we want to see the difference in the change and all of the things, it's just consistent.
Yeah,
we got to be consistent. Because actually, I always laugh because between me and you and other friends and families and whatever, like, intelligence is. It ain't the fact that we don't know.
Yeah, I know exactly what to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the fact that people are ignorant or even stupid to it. It's the fact that we just, it's definitely a discipline thing. And I just think that that's overall with community, society, and everything. With everything we do, we say we want to do something different. And it's not on like the everyday thing that we do. It just takes a little bit of time and discipline to actually correlate it and encompass it in every single day.
I just had to make sure it was actually on.
Did it not feel like it was on?
I didn't remember turning it on.
It was green. I remember looking at yours. But
now I'm causing a bunch of noise. Okay.
But ultimately, I do think that no matter what you want to do, even when it comes down to changing careers, when it comes down to working out, not only just like I want to lose weight, but really like saying I'm working out and being disciplined because you want to gain muscle. Even like, because it's a lot of people who are like super, super thin, and actually want to gain muscle.
Get bulkier.
Yeah. So I think that's another thing too. So shout out to all of the girlies who are being disciplined and just getting back on their journey. Shout out to the girlies who fell off their journey and jumping back on.
I mean, this is the time to fall off. It's June. And it's a good restarting point.
Okay.
Towards the end of the year. Towards next year. Let's start now for 2026.
And that's what even last year when I was saying that I wanted to, like, I had surgery. So just to kind of explain. So
forgot about
that.
I
ended up this was my first time ever having surgery in any form of capacity outside of giving birth. But had surgery for my fibroids. Let me just give a little backstory on that.
Sure.
Because I'm sure a lot of girls are all dealing with some form of this, or maybe not even recognizing what it is. Because I didn't. I was not a girl who had bad menstrual cycles, any of that. But when I started to realize that I wasn't that girl, I had to dissect what was happening during that time when I wasn't having this crazy stuff. Guess what? I was on birth control.
Oh, okay.
So this is why it's imperative for you to start really like just compartmentalizing different seasons, different emotions, different feelings, different behaviors, because in your life, everything is just kind of like one long road. Mm-hmm. You don't really get an opportunity to say, well, in these years I was going through trying to lose weight, I was trying to gain weight, I was sick, all of that.
The tape is running. You got to take some time to hit pause.
Go
back and review the tape.
Let's go review. Come on now. Let's go review the tape. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I got into a crazy situation. All of those things started to come about when you hit pause and you review.
Yeah.
So, in the fibroid, I did not know that I had fibroids at all. I was on birth control. I was on those the IUD.
Mm-hmm.
So it was implanted inside of my arm or whatever.
Oh, you had Depo?
No. IUD was here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is the one that she gave me at first, and I was like, absolutely not. For whatever reason, I remember this girl that I knew.
So you got the implant?
The Depo,
and they took it out?
The Depo?
You had them take it out? Yeah.
I don't know if it was Depo, but I think I had the one where it was just a patch. It was just on your arm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing in.
Ooh, yeah. I remember when I heard about that, I'm like, that seems strange.
Because there's a picture of me holding one of my girlfriend's baby. Shout out to my knick-knack. Literally, like, we was young, and I had a patch on my arm holding him. I was on my way to college, so that was 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, that's topical. Versus taking a pill. But the implant, you remember that?
Yeah.
Learning about that? Where they stick it under your skin.
Under your skin. Yeah,
that just seems so weird.
And that was for me what I was like, no, probably not, and then ended up doing the patch.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, my point of bringing that up is because I realized that I was on the birth control during that time. But when I got off birth control, so let's say I was on birth control from the age of 16 years old to me going to college, graduating high school, going to college, getting pregnant.
On the birth control?
No.
Okay.
I don't know. Honestly, I can't even give you an answer because I think I might have been off birth control at that time. I was completely off birth control at that time. Now that I really think about it, I was off birth control at that time, or I probably was like taking a pill or something because I don't even remember what birth control I was on, to be all the way honest.
It was a time.
Things got blurred. Anyway, girls, keep your legs closed. That's my lesson. But I was on birth control. Whatever reason, I was no longer on the birth control when Lyric was conceived. No, I was, because that was the argument. Thank you, Lord. Bring it to me. Like, and I'm like, wait a minute. No, I was fully on birth control. That was the argument. That was the argument with the lady when she told me that I was pregnant. I'm like, honey, run this blood, run this urine, take hair samples. You need me to breathe, cough. You need me to poop. Whatever you need me to do, let's recheck, because this is not Talitha Robertson's. No.
Yeah.
So anyway, fast forward
you said this ain't my baby.
Talitha's not pregnant. That's a foreign situation. Right. Anyway, shout out to my baby girl because she's here 19 years later.
Right.
Okay, but
singing her
whole song. And so anyway, fast forward to out of college, I have Lyric. I'm completely like first year they like get on birth control, back on birth control. No, I was like, no, I'm not getting back on it. That's when I started to recognize my menstrual cycles.
Right.
That's because now you're not on something that's stopping something that's naturally happening.
Right.
So now I'm able to really get an understanding, actually even checking my my blood because I was clotting. I didn't understand why I was clotting. I'm talking about, TMI, but chunks of clots, like a blood clot. I was clotting.
There's supposed to be some.
But no, honey. If we were talking about, like, you could probably pick it up and be like,
oh, am I okay?
Am I okay? That's when I started to realize I was very weak. I'm working full time in corporate, then I'm bartending. But I'm young, so I'm popping in, popping out. But I'm realizing that I am just not feeling good. I'm not feeling good. And I think ultimately when you go through those kinds of things, it's imperative for you to really like identify with oneself, because fibroids was not something that I would have ever thought that I had. But also too, once I started to learn more about it, I started to really realize, as much as they say it's so prevalent in the Black community and Black women, we have you have a substantial amount of women who are being diagnosed with fibroids. when you actually go down to the bottom line of a lot of it, it's your eating habits. A lot of stress causes fibroids, 100%. But then also too, let's be clear, birth control is not an actual ideal medication. It is not. When you go back to the actual beginning stages of when they created birth control as Planned Parenthood, before Planned Parenthood was Planned Parenthood, birth control was the first chronic disease medication. They actually implemented it and sold it to the market as a chronic condition disease. So what is the chronic condition in this situation?
Financial dependence on men. Because if I'm getting pregnant,
exactly,
I can't work. That was the time.
100%.
It was still frowned upon for women to work. If you were working, you weren't making a whole lot of money. And if you had a child on your own, let's say, he beat you decide to leave, whatever. What if you're married and you decide to leave with your baby? It's very difficult. Even now it's still hard, but even back then it seems like it would be harder, but times change, like the way things look change, but everything pretty much stays the same. Sidebar: if you look at pictures of people from like
thoroughly, I know what you're about to say, 1920, 1930.
I mean, we all look the same.
Everybody,
except different clothes.
Exactly. You didn't have a bunch of overweight people either.
Not a bunch. No,
not now. Of course, you got. That's just natural
because that was rich people were fat.
And guess what? That's where gout and all of that stuff comes from. Richmond King's disease.
Yeah.
All of that stuff comes from heavy eating on meat, red wine drinking.
Yeah.
All of that starchy, really just not healthy food. You're not even eating the natural things that grew off the trees.
Yeah.
That was no.
And then as technology progresses and the easier things
the
become,
processed food,
the less you have to do
to sustain.
Less you have to even move around to have a decent life. So
for sure.
But yeah, that's sidebar. So we're back.
But all of that that encompasses exactly what we're speaking about. Is just the different things that they were implementing to us. The fact that they did say, birth control pill was a chronic condition disease, I totally agree with, with just the fact of the actual dollar amount, the economics
of having a family,
of raising a family, household, husband, wife, children, multiple children at that. Sometimes your parents are around, your aunties and uncles,
what
grandparents.
If you already have 5 kids and y'all get pregnant and you're like, we can't do this. We can't afford it.
Yep. And I think that played into a part also too with what they wanted us to do, because that was not a thing. Is, well, how can we actually encompass it being okay for you to actually go and just get an abortion or eliminate your pregnancy because it's financially it's financially a strain on the family or whatever the reasons are. Because when I really bring up abortions, I feel like I have such I'm sure there's people who out there who believe like I believe, because we all have different experiences that led us to this outcome. But I think that abortions are wrong 100%. What I also too believe is right is the ability for you as the physician and my doula and whatever your holistic whatever you got going on, for you and your pregnancy to come to understand the baby is dying, I'm dying, we're dying because of this pregnancy, whatever has happened. That's a medical condition. That's a medical necessity, as they say. So that's where I feel as though that's where we play that teeter is because they want to really give it to, well, I slept with Richard and Richard doesn't want the baby, I want an abortion. Versus Stacy, who is dying with the baby dying in her, she should be able to have that medical right to terminate the pregnancy if that's what her counterparts understand, what they want to do, what they sign the paperwork, all of this stuff that you need to do. But that's a medical necessity. That's like literally them saying, okay, you need surgery on your knee, but we can also give you these injections. We can also give you these prescription pills.
I mean, you could argue having an abortion because I'm pregnant by Richard is also a medical necessity.
Why?
You could well, if I'm depending on the time, it don't even matter the time. If I'm raped by Richard and I don't want to say I was raped.
Is that a medical necessity though?
Yeah, mental health. To have a baby from a rape, that'll fuck you up.
I think, yeah.
I mean, and then you're not just dealing with you, you're dealing with somebody else.
I totally agree. I totally agree with the fact that it's traumatic.
Absolutely.
It's traumatic. It's not definitely something that you're going to be just like, is all peaches and great and all of those things. It's going to be traumatic. But in my opinion, I just don't think that's a medical necessity.
Well, if you think of brain health as being medical and part of the body, then that's how it becomes a medical. If you don't think the brain is part of the body,
I think everything has its own,
needs its own attention. That's medical. There's medicine for that.
Yeah.
And so, all medicines don't come in the form of a pill, a liquid. Some come in the form of physical therapy. Some come in the form of talk therapy.
Thoroughly.
There's all different modalities.
You're correct. But do you think that even still, and because you made that statement of the fact that it could be a medical necessity if, God forbid, somebody's raped by somebody and decide, hey, I don't want to have this baby because of this traumatic event that has happened to me. Right? Okay. Understood. You still was raped. So it's a traumatic event that has already happened. So you're going to be battling with that regardless of if you give, and this is just my opinion, you have the baby or you don't have the baby. It's going to be traumatic because now I'm sitting in a therapist's office talking about what if I had the baby. It's never right. So that's all
it can be. Depends on the person.
That's in every scenario, right? The only reason why I feel like I can't speak on it is because I have a friend who was raped, and who was raped, and she decided to have the baby. It was her choice to have the baby, 100%. If she would have listened to a lot of people who were talking in her ear, and we're talking about people who call themselves Christians and family members, and and just people who really were rallying around her just because this was a traumatic event, and so she made a decision to have that baby, and I know her today still, and he's amazing and doing superb, and she's doing amazing and doing superb. That is not to say that is the outcome of that. What I am saying is that for that statement to say the medical necessity, that's where it will be like a
everybody's
hard
different.
But that's where that will be hard to say. I think how can we decipher between who can or who can't?
Women deserve to have the choice.
Right. And I totally agree with that. I do feel like women should have the choice. I think it should only, in my opinion, I think it should be just a choice for a medical necessity instead of, we make an executive decision. Because what I really want us to really understand is that a lot of things, not saying all, some people walk down the street literally and open up their mailbox and got shot in the head.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
You say them glitter bombs? People get a package, they open it up and it just glitter.
No,
but you could do that.
That's what they did. Anthrax, ain't that what they did? Anthrax. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what anthrax was.
That's taking me back. Anthrax.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Right. But sidebar. Sorry. That's my specialty. The tangential statements.
She definitely gonna come from the left, but because remember, right? It's always facts, so we receive it. But no, when you think about, I lost my thought.
You said somebody could go to their mailbox, check the mail. And
I was just saying as far as like just society in the sense of like, things happening. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Life happens. Yeah. We don't know. But a lot of the times, I think that I'm hoping that as we continue to evolve educate, grow, learn, make mistakes, all of the things that we can actually really get to like stop making certain mistakes. Like certain mistakes just don't need to keep happening. We're really finding ourselves is like, well, that's life. I can't stand that statement. It's like somebody's horrible. You respond very horribly. You're rude. But then you're going to tell people that's just my personality. You know what? You and your personality could never be around me ever again. Well, yeah,
that's the mistake of just not being responsible for your
own. And that's my point, is that we live in society where we don't really give everybody, we don't force people to really be accountable for your actions. We raise our children and we tell them to be accountable. You go out there, you do the right thing, you be reliable, you be honest, you be fair, you be kind, you be respectful, because there's no reason not to.
Right.
And if you really don't do those things, whatever comes at you is really just what comes at you. I can't even, as your mother, protect you from that. Mm-hmm. You went out there and disrespected that boy and dogged him and did whatever it is you did, and he responded to you in your eyes to a complete, he was on another level. You was on level 3 and he went to level 10. So now we are all upset as a parent. He didn't have to go that far. Well, also too, little buddy, I need you to understand that you went out there starting stuff. Mm-hmm. And you need to take accountability for the fact that you actually inserted yourself in something that you had nothing to do with. So now these consequences are coming back on you.
Right.
And you want us as a community to stand up and protest and say, I'm exaggerating, going to the extreme.
Yeah,
you want us to go to this, rally, Michael was bad. Michael's a bad person. He needs to go to jail. Well, no, you should have stayed your ass in the house. And you should have managed your business, because wasn't nobody talking to you in the first place. Accountability.
That's why, sidebar, Tiny, I love to always say, if people minded their own business,
a lot of things probably would not.
They would be happy and not continuing in these cycles of irresponsibility. And that's one aspect of it.
Because we're not, because I don't want to make it, because I hate giving disclaimers. I'm going to stop doing that. I said what I said. And if you took it and said and meant that I meant every person in the world and every person is a bad person or every person need to, that's not what I mean. I'm just saying, naturally, you really do need to mind your business. It's none of your business.
Every single body.
Mind your business.
And I catch myself, like we were talking earlier about, we was talking about something. And I was like, well, I almost went into like, well, I don't know why he do this and why he do that. Some celebrity something. I can't remember what we was talking about. But then I was like, but none of my business. Because it's not my business to wonder about these things. I could just leave it at it. You was talking about
Shannon Sharp. And you was like, you remember we mentioned, you was like, and something you said. You was like,
oh, no, Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, that's what you mentioned. It was one of them big black football players. And I mean that in a great way.
Goofies that have these podcasts.
No, yeah. But yeah, you were just saying in the sense of he was randomly on the TV. Oh, K. Michelle.
Yeah, with K. Michelle.
He was interviewing.
It wasn't about K. Michelle.
Yeah, well, it was just
about Cam Newton. Now, granted, I've seen.
You said, I hope he's learning.
I hope he's learning from having these conversations with all of these various people. But then, like, I hope, whether he is or not, none of my business. Right. That's what's none of my business.
Right.
I'm not about to be tracking him and be like,
it's never that serious.
I don't know these people.
But you know what? Then okay, see, then this is the spiritual aspect of me, is that biblically we all have a right to judge as believers. I have the right to judge you because you're my sister. It's all coming in love. I'm not coming. That's literally
this is new for me. In the Bible, it says, and I don't want to get so deep in, to the Bible.
We won't. That'll save it for another conversation. But go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Yeah, no, that it's okay to. How can I make this statement without us going deeper? But I didn't know it was.
It's okay. So it's okay to judge.
Yeah,
Well, this is where it's imperative to it, just for small little thing. It's always imperative to go precept on precept. Okay. Mm-hmm. That just means line by line. Right. So that doesn't mean, get, John 3:16. Everybody want to read that. But did you read John 3, the entire chapter?
The whole thing?
No, you probably didn't. So the fact is, a lot of people take one scripture and then they run with it.
Oh, is this it? Judge not lest ye be judged? Is that the?
And that is one of them. Uh-huh. That is one of them. There are countless in the Bible about judging. But what it specifically talks about is you being a believer, a real walker, liver of Christ. Not somebody that is on Tuesday and on Wednesday, they don't really know where they fit. But somebody who you can really say by the actual fruit of their labor, they are really walking this walk. Okay. So with that being said, as my sister, mm-hmm. I would have the right to pull you aside and have a sidebar with you in love, in respect.
So that word judgment, that's another.
Another Western civilization.
All words have multiple meanings throughout time and currently. So, and in whatever, all languages, some words have like 20 different meanings. In the biblical sense, when we're talking about judging others, what's the definition of judgment in that sense?
It's basically holding that person accountable. It's mm-hmm. basically almost.
It's not saying, you
no, that's not love.
You're a dummy.
That's not love. God is only in love. Everything he does is in love. A lot of the times they want to say all of this negative stuff because it's easier. It's more fun to believe that. It's more exciting to get this narrative. The reality of it is like, you can't judge me. You don't know me. You're not me. Da, 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 da. But if I am your sister who loves you for real, who can see your life unfolding before me because you are in my life, if I don't have the right to come to you and tell you, hey man, your slip is showing. Mm-hmm. You might be moving a little. That ain't the way to move. Then I shouldn't even be around you. If I can't do that, then why are we friends? Mm-hmm. We not just
because that's not friends.
That's not friends. To do that. I can't see you out here. I know for a fact you belligerently drunk and you can't even see out the left of your eye and
you don't have to tell my business on the podcast.
That ain't your business.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
I was about to say, look, I'm like, that ain't your business. That ain't never happened.
No, that was a joke.
But seriously, you know what I'm saying? You want to actually, hey, even with your girlfriends, you say, it's like, I ain't gonna ever tell my girlfriends to get a divorce. Trust me. I have several of them who are married, several of them who are either getting a divorce or have gotten a divorce or whatever it has looked like. Mm-hmm. Not one of them can ever stand on a pedestal and say, Talitha said, leave that nigga. Mm-hmm. No. Because number one, I'm not involved. I don't really know. I don't care how much sister, brother, whatever relationship we got. I don't know all of the details. Okay.
Yeah.
What I do know is with love, I could possibly tell you, maybe you show up differently. I see you disrespecting him in front of the family. I see you cussing him out every time you feel some kind of way and it's in front of a bunch of people. Maybe if you do want to, let him know that he's being wrong and you don't like the way he's acting, maybe don't do it in front of everybody. Maybe, pull him to the side when y'all have a car. Y'all in the car, y'all heading home. Pillow talk, y'all laying in the bed, y'all chopping it. That's what I feel like as a girlfriend, you should be able to say. I'm not going to tell you to leave him because I don't really think that you probably should leave him. If anything, you both need to go to counseling individually and separately, individually and together. So you can be able to get an understanding.
At least do some work on it.
Work on why he is acting this way. Why are you responding to him this way?
If y'all love each other.
If this is important. If this is an important relationship that you feel as though that matters enough, then let's do that. Mm-hmm. So ultimately, judging somebody is not a wrong thing. Society tells you it's wrong because somebody, I don't want you, who you think you talking to? How dare you come and involve yourself in my stuff?
Why. I mean, that's not why people. I mean, part of it, yes, okay, right. But another layer to that is, people, when you don't allow people to be who they are because you think that they should be doing something else with their life.
Facts.
That's where judgment goes wrong.
It does.
Because if you are not open, like, especially if you don't even know the person, if you're just saying, oh, these people, or I see that person doing something, so they all must do it. So you put that judgment on every person that you see that's got on blue pants.
So you know what? That's a great segue into something that I wanted to discuss.
Okay.
At BET Awards just happened. I think it's their 45th year in business as BET and 25 years as the BET Awards.
Sidebar. When, what's the name? Robert Johnson sold BET.
I was very disappointed. I know I was.
Did you know though, with that sale, it created multiple like millionaires, like hundreds of people, hundreds of.
I know it was a lot of people.
Millionaires.
I know a lot of people were involved in the sale.
Yeah.
But I also too was very upset.
Now I don't know all the intricacies.
The only reason why I was very upset, and then we're gonna go to because I don't want to digress, but the reason why I was upset is because one thing for sure and two things for certain. Once we create it, we make it really astronomically crazy big, and then we sell it. And it seems like that has been a pattern in many substantially conglomerate organizations that were actually created, produced, written by African Americans.
Well, part of that is business, though. I'm just checking the battery. We're at 36 minutes.
Okay.
Tell me.
We can edit this part.
Okay, I'm gonna pause. Okay.
So
BET Awards.
BET Awards happened literally just this past weekend. And so they celebrated 25 years in the BET Awards or whatever. So they have like their media rooms where different, whether you're an influencer or an actual real life journalist, different organizations, they have their media personalities go to these rooms, create moments, and they interview, whoever the stars are or whatever situation.
Great marketing and event planning.
Extremely great. Astronomical. I'm like this. We need to be there. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Because we're gonna be there.
We will be there. I had posted it on my Twitter.
Okay.
Jim Jones. Okay. Lauren LaRosa.
Okay.
Who is now a new producer, news anchor person. I don't even know what you're going to call her on their show, on the Breakfast Club. So,
oh yeah, the girl that's better than just hilarious. Love her.
Let's not pin them together. That's just my thing.
That's my opinion.
Because guess what? They are two different individuals.
They're very different. And I don't like Just Hilarious on that show. She's not good for that show. For me, as a listener and as a consumer of that content, I do not. I don't like her on there.
Do you?
Lauren is a better fit. Because Lauren is a journalist. She can spit facts and hold those two dummies accountable.
Yeah.
Judgment. And, and also too, like, Just Hilarious is more of for me, from my entertainment value, she's a better fit with like Nick Cannon or the 85 South crew, or
because she's a comedian.
No, because that's the style. To me, her style is, I just don't, and on top of that, I just don't like her as a personality.
Oh, okay.
But she is hilarious. Okay, she used to be way funnier till people started coming after her. She started saying crazy stuff.
I think that, let me say this.
No, she started saying what she wanted to say, and then it was like, are you sure?
Yeah, and
then we started judging her.
And that's what I don't want. See, that's something that I can find. I can see something probably would have happened to me very early on in my career. If I would have been a just hilarious in a sense but I got both. I'm a journalist, and I also too can
say that you're scared to be on a plane because you see people in turbans.
Yeah, I can say whatever I want to say, and I don't care what you feel or what you don't feel, because this is what I do all the time. That's why you really hired me to be in this space.
I mean, that's true.
And so that's you didn't hire me. Everybody,
but she wasn't on the stage.
But listen to what I'm saying. Nobody at the Breakfast Club went and got Just Hilarious or even offered her an opportunity to actually audition for this open spot because they said she's the number one journalist person in the world.
No,
that wasn't
because
the position.
She's got a following and she's hilarious.
The position was the fact that we want to bring a little bit more of this demographic of people to this show, which is marketing. That's what you do. You literally you go with the times when you're running a business. We do everything cash register. I need somebody to come in and tell me how we can tap and swipe.
Tap into that audience.
Tap into this whole new demographic of people, because the only people coming here is spending cash. But let me actually go out there and get the people who actually do swipe, because they're interested in this content too. So my point of view of bringing it up.
How about we get rid of DJ Envy? Let's get him out.
Listen, I think everybody should stay in their lane. We don't like them, switch the channel.
Yeah.
Because
I don't watch it no more.
And that's the thing. Like they were never religious people for me to watch. No, but I love the show. But I love the show. Like, I love Angela Yee, love Charlamagne.
I didn't like her at first. I thought she was boring and just one note, but that was a good contrast to wild Charlamagne.
Because you got to think, what are we bringing on the show? What are we discussing? We discussing a lot of stuff. Some stuff is not serious.
True.
Some stuff we need somebody to give a comic relief to. And that's why I felt like Jess Hilarious was a great person. When they did all of them in auditions, I'm talking about they had Claudia Jordan, who's an actual journalist and has a background in that.
And I like
they had
Portia.
I didn't like Claudia Jordan because they had all of these personalities. I seen everybody. Everybody was on there that they was putting on there. When Jess Hilarious come on there, for me, she's comfortable in her skin. She really can say whatever she want to say, and she can actually have the conversation. If she don't understand something or doesn't, she don't come off as ignorant. My opinion, I think she comes off more or less of like she can bring that balance to. Okay, so what did you say? What did that mean?
But they put her in the position to be the news giver. And that's not her lane.
No, they put her in a position to be able to be the Jess Hilarious. That's her show.
But they gave her
because that's what Jess Hilarious do.
No. They gave her the role of Angela Yee without adjusting it for her. So for me, it didn't work.
But they did, in my opinion.
In my opinion, they did
because they gave it a whole like, okay, this is Jess with the mess. That's the whole segment. When it comes when it comes on the radio, you listen to the whole however long they on the radio. I think it's 4 hours. So Jess with the mess is not, you know what I'm saying?
When I listened to it, which was probably one time, it was regular news that she was saying.
Because that's what she talked about.
Was talking about. You could tell she didn't know. She couldn't give any context because it may not be something. It came off to me as like, you're just reading off of what the paper that they gave you.
But that's also too, this is what I'm saying. The show is not a journalistic, and I think that's what we're doing. We're too busy trying to like talk. This is just my opinion. Where I feel like this is what we do as a community of people. We don't like somebody, but we downgrade what they do. She's great at what she does. She's amazing.
I don't want to watch her on that show.
No, you don't have to. Yeah. What I'm saying is that, but we don't have to speak negative about her. That's the problem. Is the fact is that because my thing of it is that we sit up and say, let's let some man come up and say all of these negative things. Then we bashing him talking about, well, he too busy talking about black women. We as black women too busy talking about black women. The fact is that the girl got hired to be great in her position. She on her YouTube channel with a whole skit for her.
Fine.
Somebody call her.
Not the Breakfast Club. That's like her. That's like her going on CBS News and being just with the mess. It's not working.
The Breakfast Club is not a serious news outlet.
Her position,
Angela, your position wasn't even a serious news outlet.
It was not serious, but she gave the
headlines to who was fucking who and who was doing what.
She gave the She gave more
whatever the headline news was.
Yeah.
But it still was coupled into the fact of it was messy. It wasn't
true.
You didn't sit up there and go to your Breakfast Club to turn it on because I wanted to see some actual factual based dialogue between you gonna show me the clips of C-SPAN, you gonna tell me who said
what.
Saying
that.
So that's what I'm saying. So I felt as though that because we done digressed.
Surely.
I was saying with the Lauren, I don't even know what the hell I brought that girl up. No, yes I do. I know. Because I was talking about the BET experience. Get to that.
Okay, go back to BET. Okay.
Yes. Lauren LaRosa was in the news media and she was discussing, she's in the news. She's in the media room. So she's interviewing all of the people who's on the show, who's coming, who's singing, or who you excited to see, all of the dumb questions. Same dumb questions. I wish they actually let them ask some different questions because I can't stand the questions. I be like, honey, I be writing stuff down to myself like, you could have asked this, you could have asked that. Another person who was horrible interviewing is Jennifer Hudson. She's horrible. She repeats the same thing. She repeats the same question.
I've never seen an episode of that show.
Oh my God.
Because of what people have said, I don't even want to.
And I'm not saying it because the one thing we do, and I know I probably do the same thing, but we do discuss a lot of what we don't like about our Black sisters.
But we discuss a lot about what we don't like about everybody.
Everybody. That is true. That is true. But what I am saying is this: when she was interviewing in the media room, Jim Jones is being interviewed. It's Jim Jones and I don't know who else. Because because you don't really know who was all in the media room. Like the camera is showing like him, her, and Jim Jones, but you could tell there's other people. Sierra pops in.
I know who that is.
Sierra, the singer. She pops in and she sits down. And she's actually crashing Jim Jones' interview because she had a message for him.
Okay.
And so she explains to him that he needs to marry Chrissy and that this is live being recorded.
Yeah.
So that's just like me saying, hey, TC.
Right.
Let me tell you. That's exactly what she did. So literally, so they sitting there like, everybody's like, and so Jim is like, he's listening to her. She
must have thought that was recorded or something.
No, everybody know this is live.
Okay.
They kept saying this on all of the things. This is live. This is live. This is live. This is live. Live. And even if it is recorded, stop doing stuff on camera and thinking that somebody gonna edit it. Because actually, this is probably the thing that I'm going to actually post the most. Because whatever it is, that thing that you thought that I thought they were going to take that out.
Edit it out. Don't say it. Don't
say it. You already know. You've been in the business many years, girl. You ain't new to this. So she comes in. She says what she says. Everybody took what she said and was like, "Oh, that was so nice." Until the real people saw it. The people was like, "This, man, mind your business." Which is
the
what
people in the room was saying that?
No, this is just this is the narrative now.
Okay.
Of said video that is now circulating and now is extremely viral. Sure. And it's on everybody's podcast. Everybody who got a voice and got a microphone has discussed and the reason why I was bringing that up was the fact of minding your business. Mm-hmm. Inserting yourself in something that ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm not saying you don't know Jim Jones or you don't know Chrissy. I don't know how much you know them enough for you to come on national TV and tell somebody that he need to marry her. If me and you are friends, for real friends, like we chop it in some capacity outside of a camera, you wouldn't have never thought that was okay.
Right.
You wouldn't have never thought it was okay because you know my personality. Mm-hmm. Why the hell would you even think to go to my man? I don't care, a strange man, ex-man, wannabe man, my man on Tuesday, not on Wednesdays, whatever it is that you thought to go to him on national TV and say he should marry me. First off, as much as you probably felt like this was helping, you embarrassed me.
Right.
So literally, Joe Budden's in them podcasts. The only reason why I listen to them their clip, because they be having these viral clips, and sometimes the viral clips be all I need, because I'll never sit there and watch 3 hours of it. Like this is crazy.
That would be ridiculous.
But hey, to each his own, because people love it. Because honey, they up there making a bag. So shout out to them, because I'm trying to get into that space. For me,
because I'm not their audience, so it don't even matter.
It doesn't matter. Absolutely, because we're trying to build our audience. Yeah. So whoever watches it, that's great, because it is some stuff.
I don't mind sharing my opinions. I'm in the business.
Absolutely.
I can comment as a consumer on various shows, just as people can comment on this show amongst others. No shade, no tea, just TC. Period.
What they ended up saying, Joe Buttons was like, I was very shocked. He said they actually was like, well, shout out to Jim Jones for, being very, very respectful. Like, cause he didn't say anything. He just was like, yeah, all right. I mean, literally, that's what
he say.
Yeah. So he ended up, I think Lauren.
Was she drunk or something?
I doubt if that's even her personality to be at the BET Awards with her children running around.
Yeah,
drunk.
Inebriated.
Yeah, inebriated. I don't think but hey, who's to say? I don't know. The persona she puts on is that ain't really her lane.
That type of moment.
I think that she really thought that she was helping, in my opinion. Okay. I really thought that she was being genuine. I don't think that was an intentional, like, let me go up here and be messy. I don't think that was the intentions. But I think that you need to shut the fuck up and mind your business.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even at a house party. We're on
We're at the BET Awards.
Global television.
It's in Los Angeles. And it's live around the world.
Interesting. I got to look at it.
Look it up. I'm telling you. And then when you watch the video, you're going to be like, yeah, mind your business. Because after a while, I'm sorry, but for me, because it just seemed like it kept going. I'm like, is she still talking? I'm like, this is cringeworthy. Like, it really got to the point where this is like,
was it like,
hey, in this?
Was it like when Britt was telling Shamia on the latest episode of Housewives, Real Housewives of Atlanta?
No, it was not like that.
Loved her. I'll have your back.
No, but we can get to that. Please, let's get to that. Let's put that on the back burner, because I have a lot to say about that. I love you. But wait, before we digress, how do you feel about that? So you as a woman, you have an estranged relationship, because listen, guess what this has brought up? Now all of these viral moments of your goofy butt bending on your knee proposing to this man, and the nigga ain't never married you. I don't want to see that again. And here you are again. You get what I'm saying? So, like, how would you feel? Do you feel as though that she was being messy? Do you feel as though how would you respond if a friend like that did something like that to you? Or an associate? Because I don't even want to call her a friend, because I don't know what their dynamics are. So I'm going to say an associate.
My personality to do something like that, I mean, I probably would have been like, okay. Like, if I'm Chrissy,
would you call her? Would you say something? Reach out to her team?
She would have to talk to me.
I said, would you call her? No. Would you say something? Reach out to the team?
You
wouldn't say anything?
No.
Okay.
I mean, how are they friends? Chrissy and
this
Sierra?
Is the conversation.
So it depends on the dynamic of the relationship. If this is my good friend, because I would imagine that they are good friends. If you're going up to this man, like because they're not a couple, Chrissy and Jim Jones, are they?
Or you see. Let me now. I just want to bring I want to bring this to the forefront. There's a lot of
details that need to be considered,
and this is the point of what I agree with the Joe Budden podcast. It's too many unknown variables in this scenario. Nobody on the planet knows whether or not, and this is just because when things are going viral, we all have the right to have an opinion.
And Sierra may know. She may be that close to them in that circle, But then you're right, to bring it to the world is like,
that's why I say, in my opinion, I have friends, I have associates, and I have people that I know and I give two fingers to. The reality of it is that every single person that is close to me, that is even associated with me, you know damn well you ain't going on nobody's national TV asking any nigga that I dating, used to be with, want to be with, and say, why you ain't married to Letha?
Oh, it's still recording. Yeah.
That's wild behavior to me. Because you as my friend wouldn't do that.
No.
You know, even if that's what you feel. On national TV, you know what I mean? If we friends like that, you know what I mean? Times you could have, I'm talking to you over there.
Yeah, we good. Oh. Said something, we're going to put the AI me in there.
Okay, so I'm like,
I think so. When it says that it's like at 20%, 19%. So
yeah, that's what I thought. It was 20%.
Yeah, I forgot you got an iPhone. So.
Yeah. So, yeah. But ultimately, I'm just saying, as my real good girlfriend, I don't think you would do that. National TV to ask my man why he ain't marrying me, because this is what y'all should be doing. She deserve it. You deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, you know, we done already seen so many different dynamics. Now we really want to see like the love that you're
talking as a fan.
I don't know. This is what you gotta have to decipher. It don't matter if you was a fan, if you was a stewardess on the airline. If you was
a fan, that's what fans would say, because fans don't have those intimate and intricate details. Y'all should be together. Because based on what we've seen from what? TV?
That's why I say once again. So if that's the case, then you even more should have shut the FUCK up and mind your business. Because you have
fans and you should know better, basically.
And so because look, his response too, even when Lauren asked him how did he feel, he kind of was like, you could tell he was uncomfortable. Yeah, he was completely uncomfortable, but he was just like, he said, I guess I respected, just, you know, because I mean, she living that life, you know, like a lot of people try to speak on stuff that they not even living. They try to preach it to you and they not even living it. He like, so I respect that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the situation is. He was like, but you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna always do what I want to do, you know what I'm saying, mind my business. And like, that's kind of how he started to, you know, like, thank you, whatever the situation is. No, like really probably trying not to be disrespectful and probably thinking about his words. You know, he didn't say anything crazy, but in his response led me to believe they not friends enough for her to do that. Now, even if she's more cool with Chrissy, still, you're not gonna run up on my man and say anything like that. Like you're not, sir. It's just like you gotta be able to know, like if you really married to a man and you grew up with your father, my point of saying is that you know you should know men. Like you should know like real men. They don't I know what society says and all these different things, but you're not gonna pull up on my daddy, rest in peace, and say anything to him that he don't want you to say. He's literally gonna be looking at you like, you could probably go head on. With all due respect, I ain't ask you. Don't insert yourself in stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. Because then when you do get somebody who's ignorant, disrespectful,
counterpoint,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying.
Like, and when that nigga turned around and been like, hey man, what the fuck, man? But there are, get her. Like, what if he would have been like, hey man, get her the fuck up out of here?
True.
Everybody would have been like, he was so rude. Where's Russell?
Jim Jones is 60 years old, right?
What that mean?
I'm just saying.
He's not 60, but he's in his 50s.
Damon Dash is 60, so maybe 50s. Cameron is 50. Mace is like 50. P. Diddy is in his 50s. Yes. Almost 60 if he's not 60. These are old men.
What does that mean?
Meaning, and they've been Jim Jones particularly, been around forever in the spotlight. You know,
every single one of them you name have been.
They know how to. Jim Jones conducted himself the way I would expect him to. If he was to like go off on her, to me that would be unexpected. I would be warranted.
I think we all expect. I don't think we expected him to go off. I think, but us who really know, like them, like that, like in that sense of like those settings,
that energy,
yeah,
the
that
energy of that type of man.
Yeah, it's like he would definitely.
There is a man that would have responded and been like, in a different way, like,
thank you, baby girl, I appreciate it, but let's talk about that later.
Right. Or they may have gotten into it.
Yep. That's what I was saying.
As a maybe
so whatever his response was.
Yeah. But that's neither here nor there ultimately, because our focus is like,
how would you feel?
Yeah, how would you feel?
The question was
something you would do.
That goes in, it went into us asking, well, basically making a statement of mind your business and not insert yourself in stuff that doesn't, holding yourself accountable, that kind of thing, right? But the reality of it is, how would you feel as a actual friend if somebody confronted your husband, your ex-husband, your estranged boyfriend, lifelong partner, whatever terminology and title you want to put on it, for her to go on national TV, live TV, and actually kind of confront him, and in a sense with healthy and good love and really good intentions, she wasn't being disrespectful. But the fact is that, come on, you talking about personal stuff on national TV that
I don't know exactly what I would do, but I know that it, as me and my body right now, I'll pull back. And like I said, I would not reach out. I wouldn't be like, bitch, why the fuck you do that? Or like, what were you thinking? They would have to call me and see how I'm doing. And then we could have a conversation. But I'm processing, like, what? Because that's me. That's me, TC. So
I'm with you. I think I'm a little bit of both, because Talitha don't really, my friends will tell you, I don't give a fart about a lot of stuff. None of it really, it rolls off my back like water. Girl, such and such and them said,
yeah,
whatever, because I don't explain anything. That's what I don't do. I don't live on that hill of explanation. You got the information? Is that what you believe? Right on. Right on. There ain't nothing else for me to say. Because a lot of the times, most people want to believe whatever they was already told anyway. Mm-hmm. You already had made up in your mind. Because I remember and I heard, I felt like, go ahead and live on that island. You come and talking to me.
Instead of saying, did this happen?
And most of the time, they don't want to know that. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, it's like, so they said, and it's coming at you with more or less of, I know this is true. Just somebody said this to me, like, you can just, I remember,
girl.
It was a stupid situation. I remember he was like, you can be honest, right? He like, it's me. You can be honest. When I tell you, it took everything in me not to be combative.
Yeah.
So I literally, or just aggressive. I was just not combative, just aggressive and abrasive and disrespectful. I said, there's nothing for me to be honest, or there's nothing for me not to be honest about. I'm like, so, I would have just appreciated if you stopped badgering me. I said, because it's already coming off as though the information that you have literally bathed in it. You have lotioned up in it, and you have now gotten dressed and went on with your day. So that's something that you're living when you believe. I'm going to let you live there. You don't want to, it's okay. Thank you though. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. It's in that. Because if I could see,
yeah, go ahead. Depending on what the conversation was, when I'll pull back, I'll be like, okay,
you got it. That's my thing. You know what? You got it.
Yeah, I don't have no problem being like snip, snap, cut, but you gone. I'm gone. I don't care what you doing. I'm leaving.
And I'm with you on that. I think that I am a sensitive girl, and I'm a lover at heart, and I don't have a lot of things. I'm one of those like, well, what happened? Like, why did it get to that? Mm-hmm. Like, I wanted this. If I loved you in any way and care for you in any capacity, I would like to have that conversation. Now, everybody don't want to have that conversation. And a lot of people also, too, put their insecurities of having a conversation. Let's just say this. What about this? You wrong. You wrong. I'm wrong, you wrong, okay? But you want to have the conversation with the person.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know you're wrong. And when I think that when people who really, people who really hold themselves accountable, in my opinion, I think we really do a great job of that. Now, everybody don't receive that because a lot of people are fearful in having the conversation, because sometimes that means that maybe they actually have something to apologize about, or sometimes they may realize that may open up certain doors that they don't want to discuss certain things that they may have something to do with.
Or it feels better being mad and not in.
Or it is easier for me to just truly view you this way. It's easier for me to view this way. I don't need to dissect why you did it, what happened, who said it, whatever the situation is. I'm gonna just let you be wrong and whatever in my life. And I respect that too. But when I get down to the nitty gritty of raising a daughter and me elevating and going through different relationships, friendships, businesses, intimate relationships, family members, et cetera, right? I'm learning like the importance of relationships and the fact that I really do value relationships, but also too, the fact of the matter is that everybody don't know how to have the uncomfortable conversations.
I think we should come back and talk about that.
I think it's because I think there's some things that we should research to discuss, get some statistics, get some clarity, because I do think it has changed drastically over time. But I think that's a great point to bring up in our next episode.
Because we're running out of camera time. So what do we want to do in closing?
You jump in.
Well, I would like to say that
because I think overall we were talking about accountability. Overall, we're talking about minding your business.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Like overall, we do want people in our lives to hold us accountable. I don't want you to judge me in a sense where you're now belittling me.
Right.
Where now you are making me feel like some kind of monster.
Like something's wrong with me.
Like you're actually like accusing me. It's like accusatory instead of you actually being, helpful.
Productive,
efficient, effective in the way that you're actually.
Yeah, because even when it comes from love, if your delivery is off, then that's ineffective communication.
And that's why it's imperative for the whole thing. Let me pull you to the side. Let me make sure that this is a time to have a conversation with you.
Maybe not scream at me in the parking lot.
Maybe not as soon as I say something, all of the facial expressions and, all of that.
But also, what's behind the screen? What's behind the face? But it's always a two-way street. Between two people, it can be 4 and 8 lanes in that bitch.
I definitely say between two people. Well, depending on when two groups are having, whether it's individual or group, it is 3 lanes. And what you said, what I said, and actually what was said.
And what was caught on a traffic camera. And then some people have more lanes in their story than the other person. And then it's like, you got all this extra traffic, and
that's why I be like, that's some straight BS. That's telltale sign to me. That ain't nothing but some foolery.
Oh my God.
It's because it's in one way. You either knew you was going wrong down the road, or you knew you was going, you didn't know, or you did know.
True. So I'm gonna step back. I want to wrap up and say that I am committed to becoming unfat. Because I'm fat.
Well, she said it'd be so funny. She said becoming unfat.
Look, come on, man. Probably can't even hear because my fatty neck was rolling over the damn microphone.
I'm gonna need her to
look at it. Don't look at it. But anyway, you gotta tap it on the phone.
Okay.
But we cool, and I'm cool. I'm about to lose 50 pounds. by the time the winter solstice.
Well, let's just say this.
And what do you want to say?
We are committed to elevating. I'm gonna need. Why you keep sitting back like that?
You know, when I talk about being fat,
and so anyway, we're committed to elevating, moving forward, developing this content, and having the important conversations. We can't wait to invite you on, to invite you into the conversation. We're super, super excited to keep going. Shout out to the TNT Podcast. I am T.
And I am TC.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace. Don't look at it.
So extra for no reason. All her life she
it's
had to fight.
Like